Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Armin here today with another Maps 101 video. Today we're going to be going through... Let's do Satellite today. Pretty easy to get spawn trapped in that map, so I'm going to go through how you can break the spawn trap and then dominate the other team. And we're not going to be doing anything weird like cheesing the game or anything like that. We're going to play like a bunch of gentlemen and assert our dominance over the other team in a legitimate way because we're not a bunch of scumbags. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. So in Team Deathmatch, you typically spawn here. You gotta take out your pistol. You honestly want to avoid that area, especially as an assault rifle player, because a lot of SMG players push that side of the map. And on top of that, it's kind of like there's a lot of 50-50 gunfights, and once you're up there, you know, there's going to be a lot of different lines of sight that you're going to be exposed to. So instead of doing that as an assault rifle player, you want to chuck a nade right over there. You don't want to do that. Oh my god, I choked that nade so bad. I choked that nade. You want to aim for that spot, and you want to chuck it over there, because it's going to land on the satellite crash site around there, and it's going to catch people off guard. You want to come on this side of the map instead of going up there. Not only because you have a line of sight on them with an accurate assault rifle, just like the Krieg. On top of that, you actually have a good line of sight on that side, especially right off the rip for the rush routes, because people push this way, and you can kind of catch them off guard and kill them there. And then this is the godheady that everybody rocks, especially snipers, which I kind of despise. But to be honest, there's really no way to counter it, so you might as well exploit this as well. You can just honestly chill here all game. People are gonna challenge you from there, from all the way there, and if they're really ballsy with snipers, they can challenge you from the dunes, in which case I highly recommend not challenging back, because you can barely see them. So after you clear those enemies, you have two options. You can either push that side, like satellite, assuming that this side is clear. Obviously make sure that you pre-aim this, you pre-aim that, and you want to come up here. Check that real quick, because a lot of people, almost everybody comes from that direction, and here, and what you want to do is to not expose your entire body when you come around this corner, because you're going to be shot from there and pretty much every direction. I don't know what to tell you. Instead of doing that, you want to kind of control this general area. So this area is where you want to hang out, kind of pre-aim those areas, make sure that no one's coming from there. And then I know that this sounds like a pretty bad gunfight to take, but honestly, you can win gunfights like this, because people coming from that direction, they have to kind of come around that little thing. So this is a pretty good gunfight because you have a good height advantage on them, and even then, there you can kind of come here. Just make sure that you don't do this because your entire body's exposed. You kind of want to get this checked and dip out. And then if you're an SMG player, you can obviously push that side and that side. Those are pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to go too much into them. So instead of pushing their spawn, because the spawns here are super sticky too, they usually spawn all the way back there or all the way behind these little guys, like back here. So you can kind of dip down here, because now they expect you to be up there, so you can come down here and kind of hold this line of sight. This is also a pretty nasty spot because they can barely see the top of your head, especially if they're coming from that direction. That is a pretty good head glitch on them, but it's nothing close to this. Like when I'm doing this, they can barely see my head, I promise you that. They don't even know what hit them. And then once you kill them there, they typically should start spawning all the way back there, behind that little rock. But assuming that you're a good player, we can flip the spawn super easy. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's go through what if you spawn here on this side of the map. So you take out your pistol. On this side, it's actually not a terrible idea to push up top on satellite itself, mainly because this is a pretty nasty head glitch too. They have to push you from this direction, which is what this is where everybody rushes right off the rip, or at least it has been so far. I'm not sure if it's going to change in the future or not, but what you want to do is to just hold this real quick, make sure no one's coming from there, which there's always somebody coming from there, and then you can honestly just hold this. This, you have a huge height advantage. They're going to be spawning that back there. A lot of the snipers and assault rifle players and LMG players go all the way back there. So you can kind of gun them from here. But what's worked better for me is to kind of clear this real quick. Make sure that no one's coming from this direction, and then honestly just push up top here. You push down here and you wait for them to come around that corner and this corner. Obviously you don't want to expose your entire body to this direction. What you want to do instead is to hold this, hold that, and then use this as cover and kind of gun people from that direction. And that's honestly about it. There's really not a whole lot to do on this map other than just hold your line of sights, because you can see them spawn in front of you. That's how cheap this map is. There's like jump spots and check spots that you can have. Obviously you can come up here, and what I'm doing right now, you can kind of check to make sure no one's coming from that direction. Hold this, but the problem with this is that as dark as it is, and it's really hard for enemies to see you when you're camping back here. I'm sure everybody's been through the pain of a bunch of LMG and sniper players just chilling back there, waiting for everybody to just push them from that direction or that direction. But I don't recommend doing it because, one, we're not scumbags, like I said, and on top of that, your entire body is exposed, so you don't really have a whole lot of places to go either. And on top of that, people can kind of push their way here. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk a little bit about what would you do if you're in a spawn trap. This side being spawn trapped is pretty brutal, mostly because if you're coming around this corner, like I said, people camp back there, up there, down there. You can get shot from there and that direction. Like pretty much anywhere that you see on the map, you can get shot from. So what you want to do is you take a pretty methodical approach to breaking the spawn trap. Coming out of your spawn, you want to make sure that no one's there. If there are, got them. You want to come here. Make sure that no one's there. Make sure that no one's pushing you from this direction. Once that's done, instead of pushing this side like a maniac, because everybody's always going to be camping up there, remember that. Instead, you want to go through this side of the map and use this as your cover. That's assuming that you're not going to be getting shot from that direction. Obviously, if you are, this is still a pretty good head glitch. You can actually just kill them, and then make sure that you come around the corner, and then you give that a quick peek. That is a typical spot. That is the spot that I just showed you, so this is the counter to it. Not as nasty as that side, but it's still not too bad. And then after that, you want to come all the way here and camp the people that are camping on that side and this side. And then just push up top here, and Bob's your uncle. On this side, let's go through that real quick. If you're spawn trapped on this side of the map, what's worked for me, I'm not sure if this is going to work for everybody, but what's worked for me is to come up here real quick, make sure that you're not being sniped from the dunes or that direction in general. Make sure that nobody's getting that. Once that's done, you want to come down here and make sure that nobody's pushing that side, because a lot of people, especially SMG players, are going to push that side of the map. And then you're going to use this rock as your cover. This is where they expect you to be, but look, I'm like half of my body is exposed unless you're crouching, which is going to limit your movement. This is actually going to work better because not only they can't see you, you have a pretty good line of sight on that side of the map and this side of the map. So you want to do that for sure. And on top of that, it also, if you peek around, you can actually just see that too, because if you don't want to push all the way up here to get gone from that direction, you can just come around the corner, use this as your cover, and use that line of sight for people that are pushing the little, I don't know what to call that, pathway, whatever you want to call it, sure. And then once that's done, obviously you want to push up here. Another thing that has worked better for me than just pushing up top here is kind of just hanging out down here, because like I said, although they have a height advantage, just the top of your head is exposed when you're trying to gun them from this direction. So kind of just chill here, make sure that they're not there, and after that you can just come here and just kind of give that a quick peek. Obviously people camp back there, and then just hop up here, and then just shoot them as they're coming from the spawn. And like I said, this has worked absolute wonders for me. So instead of going all the way up there and going where they expect you to be, I kind of just chill down here, kind of kill them off of their spawn once, and then just push all the way down, come down here, and then you can either shoot them from that direction, this direction, and you can also just come up here, make sure that they're not coming from that direction, kind of gun them from their when they're coming out of their spawns. That's about it. I hope that today's video helped you. If you're new to the channel, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and at the end of the day, we're here to make you better. That's about it. Have a great day and peace.